Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing the Booktuber's first and last tag. This tag was created by Kimberly over at Kimberly's Book Nook, and I will link the original video down in the description box below. So there are 10 questions. Let's get started. And just a friendly reminder, the live broadcast on Google Plus will be held on Friday, this Friday, the 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, let's get on with the questions. Question number 1. What was the first video you posted? What was the last video you posted? The first video I posted was me singing Baby by Justin Bieber. And the last video I posted was yesterday, and it was the Bookaholic tag. And I'll leave a link down below in the description if you guys want to check out that video. Question number 2. What was the first Booktuber you ever watched? What was the last Booktuber you watched, and what was their video? The first Booktuber I watched was Catty-tastic, and I think her video was a bookshelf tour. I'm not sure. And the last Booktuber I watched was Whitney over at Whitney Reads, and I watched her reaction to the Catching Fire trailer. I hate my iPhone sometimes. Okay. Question number 3. What was the first book you remember buying? What was the last book you bought? The last book I remember buying was A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks, and the last book I bought was Legend by Mary Lou. Question number 4. What is the first novel you remember reading all by yourself? What was the last novel you read? I don't know if audiobooks count for reading. I read with the audio and the book. So the first book I remember reading was A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks and The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. And the last book I remember reading was Crescendo by Becca Fitzpatrick. Okay, question number 5. Actually, I'm going to skip question number 5 because I don't have an answer for that one. It says, what was the first dystopian novel you read? What was the last dystopian novel you ever read? I don't think I've read any dystopian novels, so I'm just gonna skip that question. But that was question number 5. Question number 6. What was the first paranormal romance you ever read? What was the last one? The first paranormal romance I read was Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer, and the last paranormal romance I read was Crescendo by Becca Fitzpatrick. And the reason I read the last book in the Twilight series is because everyone in my school was reading it, and Paige, you should check this out. Look, this book is so interesting and good, and it took me 3 months to finish it because it's big. If you have the Twilight series books, you know what I'm talking about. And so it took me 3 months. I started in September and finished before December, like toward the end of November. And and then I saw the movies. I don't like the first part of Breaking Dawn, but I do enjoy the last part. So I think the book was better than the movie. But before I started reading the Stephanie Meyer's books, that one book, I didn't read the Twilight series. I just watched the movies. Okay. Alright. Question number 7. What was the first book that made you cry? What was the last book that made you cry? The first book that made me cry was The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. It really touched home for me. My grandparents had the similar story, and when you see the older Noah and Allie in the nursing home, that really touched home for me because My grandparents were in one because my grandma was diagnosed with the same disease that Allie had. Okay, question number 8. What was the first what was the first entire series you completed? What was the last series you completed? The last series I completed was the first one was the Harry Potter series, and the last one was the Halo series by Alexandra Arseneto. Okay, question number 9. What was the first book you couldn't push yourself to finish? What was the last book you couldn't finish? First book was Fallen by Lauren Kate. I could not finish that book. I started to fall asleep like after the 3 chapters I read, and no. And the last book I couldn't push myself to finish was Beautiful Creatures by Margaret Shaw and some other author I can't remember of. And then question number 10, and this is the last question. Who is the first person you tag? Who is the last person you tag? I'm going to tag Whitney from Whitney Reads. I'm going to link all the people I tag down below in the description. So, I hope everyone has a great day. See you Friday. Bye, YouTube.